Welcome to our presentation, How to Succeed in an Online or Virtual Course through the Center for Student Success at Ivy Tech Community College. First, a description of these types of courses. In virtual classes, the instructor and students meet face-to-face over Zoom at a scheduled time. Classes are synchronous, meaning they take place in real time with the instructor and students interacting together. This just happens virtually instead of in person. Recordings are made of live sessions. Students must participate in weekly live sessions following the course schedule. All class experiences, lectures, and small group work happen online. Students can expect 50 to 100% of the course contact hours will happen in real time, meaning synchronous, over Zoom. As with all classes, some course activities are delivered via Ivy Learn. All assignments have due dates. The vast majority of virtual classes happen 100% online, but some may require in-person coursework or labs. Online classes take place completely online. No time in a traditional classroom is required. Most activities are asynchronous, meaning there is no scheduled class meeting time. An online course could involve scheduled activities such as online office hours, chats, or other real-time presentations, however. Students can expect that 100% of the course contact hours are asynchronous, meaning you learn on your own schedule within a certain time frame. All course assignments are assigned and completed through your Ivy Learn class page on a weekly or regular basis. Students have opportunities to interact with their instructors through Ivy Learn. All assignments have due dates. Students complete work on their own time without real-time interaction with instructors or peers. Here's an infographic that describes the different modalities of taking classes at Ivy Tech. In the traditional option, 100% of classes happen in person on campus, with 0 classes happening online, and there are scheduled class times. In the virtual option, 0% of classes happen in person on campus, and 100% of classes happen online, and there are scheduled class times. In the online option, 0% of classes are in person on campus, 100% of classes happen online, and there are no scheduled class times. In the Learn Anywhere option, it's your decision how much you want to come to campus or take your classes online, and there are scheduled class times. And in the blended option, a third of your classes happen in person on campus, and 2/3 or less happen online, and there are scheduled class times. Here are the technology requirements for these classes. Live online sessions require students to have sufficient broadband access and a device with a microphone or headset. Students can interact with their online courses over mobile devices, tablets, or computers, but a computer is required to complete coursework. Some academic programs require students to download software to their computers. Some testing environments or skills assessments may require the use of a webcam. Students may be required to take exams at an approved proctoring site or via other virtual proctoring options. So what do you need to do to be successful in these types of classes? First, establish some type of structure. With traditional classes, being on campus at a certain day and time provides a routine that can be very helpful for completing your assignments. Without this type of schedule, it's important to set up your own structure to keep yourself accountable. Virtual and online classes require an extra level of discipline and commitment. Having a general pattern to your study schedule can help you get into a rhythm of accomplishing your work and make you less likely to put things off. As one Ivy Tech student said, treat your online class like a real class. Set a schedule, stay organized, and don't wait until the last minute. Check your Ivy Tech email often, and don't be afraid to ask your instructor questions. You're not alone, even if you're learning from home. Work in an environment conducive to studying. Set up an area at home that is quiet and has everything you need within reach. Don't study on your bed if possible. Minimize distractions as much as you can. If you're tempted to check messages or look at social media on your phone, put it in another room. If you like to go to public places to work, really assess whether or not you can stay focused there. Get comfortable with the technology you'll be using. If you're not familiar with the various functions of Zoom, you can meet with library staff to get up to speed. If there is any special software you will need to download for taking tests, for example, do that well in advance of the exam to make sure you don't have any problems installing or using the program. Look the part. Wearing pajamas while you're in class can be a nice perk, but you may find that being too comfortable makes you feel less motivated. Dressing like you would if you're going to class sends a signal that this is time to work and not time to relax. Save the PJs for when you're off the clock. Work on time management. Make sure you have some sort of a calendar or planner to keep track of due dates for homework, group projects, discussion boards, and exams. Determine when you need to start working on assignments and studying for tests, and block out slots on your calendar to account for that time requirement. Don't overcommit to activities outside of work and school. Think hard before giving your time away to others, especially if you're having trouble staying on top of your own responsibilities. Another quote for an Ivy Tech student: I most recommend that online virtual students need to delegate their assignments evenly throughout the week so that they're not overwhelmed by Saturday with a bunch of stuff due the next day. Understand what the time commitment will be for each of your classes. You can expect to spend several hours outside of actual class time for homework and studying. Some faculty will note approximately how many hours a student can expect to work outside of class for their course. Overestimate the time you may need initially. You can always readjust your schedule once you have a better sense of what kind of commitment your class requires. To quote an Ivy Tech student, the workload can seem overwhelming early on, but over time you can figure out how to manage it step by step, and then it doesn't seem quite so unmanageable. Establish boundaries. If children or other household members, tend to interrupt your class or study time, establish clear parameters for when you are busy and when you're available. Ask that they please respect these boundaries so you can give your full attention to your work. Set mini goals. Don't procrastinate. Waiting until the last minute to finish assignments or study for tests increases anxiety and doesn't result in your best work. Instead, set mini goals for what you need to accomplish each day. Be specific. Instead of saying, I will study psychology tonight, say, I will review the first 3 chapters of my psychology book from 6 to 7 p.m. Another quote: always make sure you are working ahead of schedule, whether that be a few days, an entire week, or even a few weeks or months. Getting yourself ahead sets you up for the most academic success possible, especially when you're putting in the extra effort to make the work the best it can be. Don't skip classes. It can be tempting to skip a class here and there when you're working alone, but it's very easy to fall behind quickly. Make a commitment to yourself to attend every class. This is an investment you're making in yourself. I think continuing on even when you're discouraged is key, because it's tempting to give up on something when things are tough. However, I think life only improves when you're at least willing to try something difficult, says an Ivy Tech student. Don't multitask. You might be tempted to do some laundry, clean house, or complete other tasks while you're listening to a lecture. Don't. Give your schoolwork your full attention, just like you would if you were sitting in front of your instructor. Multitasking divides our focus and results in both things we are trying to accomplish getting done halfway. When it's time to be in class or study, make that the only thing you do. Reach out to your instructor with any questions or concerns. Your instructor is here to help you, even if you never see them in person. If you have a question or problem, contact them right away. Delaying makes a small problem snowball into a larger one. As one Ivy Tech student says, keep engaged with instructors and bring up any problems you have early. Putting things off often makes the problem build instead of resolving it. Ask someone to help keep you accountable. If you feel like you're getting into some bad habits like procrastinating on work or skipping class, see if a friend or family member would be willing to ask you periodically if you're staying on top of your assignments. Knowing you have to report in can make you less likely to slack off. As one Ivy Tech student says, just showing up and doing the work makes a big difference. I wasn't doing as well as I'd like in my college algebra course earlier this year, but instead of giving up, I went ahead and put in as much effort as I could, just to see what grade I would end up getting. Failing the class was always a possibility, but it turned out I did well enough to pass. Get really engaged in what you're learning. Without the in-person interaction between you, your instructor, and your fellow classmates, it can be hard to maintain interest in what you're learning. Make a decision to be all in and give your best effort even when your motivation may be waning. Be sure to participate in group discussions and actually become part of the class, not just an observer. Find ways to connect with other students. Even if you never see your classmates in person, you can still benefit by reaching out to them. Over Zoom, you can prepare for a test together, help each other understand assignments, and support one another. Take the risk and reach out. You may find a friend in your class you never anticipated meeting. Stay on top of the communication you're receiving. Check your Ivy Tech email, check my Ivy announcements, check Ivy Learn. Stay on top of all the communication you're receiving. Important information about study tables, workshops, tutoring help, etc., is always being sent out, and you'll want to be aware of those resources. Take advantage of online tutoring. The Library and Tutoring Center offers free in-person and online tutoring in all Ivy Tech math courses, as well as most science, technology, and engineering courses. They also offer assistance with writing assignments in any Ivy Tech course at any stage of the writing process. Students can meet with tutors virtually or in person. Ivy Tech students also have access to online tutoring with brainfuse.com, which you can access through Ivy Learn. Stay motivated. Remember why you're working so hard. Have a visual reminder of your goal. For example, a vision board with images of what you hope to achieve, or a screensaver on your laptop that personifies your dream. Even an inspirational quote on your desk may do the trick. Having these types of reminders within eyesight can help you get back on track when your motivation wanes. Another quote from an Ivy Tech student: "It's good to have the general mindset of, this is going to be tough, but if I put in the effort, I'll be in a better place than when I started." Online and virtual classes are a great option to achieve your degree or certificate, but it takes a certain amount of discipline and commitment to be successful in them. Try incorporating these tips in your next online or virtual class and see how they make a difference. For other assistance, the Center for Student Success helps students with things like developing better time management skills, setting achievable goals, improving study and note-taking skills, learning test-taking strategies and managing test anxiety, understanding emotional intelligence, working through and overcoming procrastination, making time for self-care, succeeding in an 8-week course, understanding imposter syndrome, and handling stress more effectively. Just reach out to us at indie-studentsuccess@ivytech.edu, and we'll be happy to help you.